Hello, I'm Claire Snowden-Darling,
I'm Laura Knowles.
and we're going to talk to you about reading food labels. Now, this is one of my favorite things to teach people because it's illuminating. So, when we walk around the supermarket, we will be inundated with marketing spiel, things that say high protein or this is protein pasta and protein this and low carb this and low fat that. And actually, the only way to tell is not to read the front of the packet, ignore front of packet, read the back of the packet. So it's very, very simple. On the back of the packet, it will say it's got the list of protein, fats, saturated fats, carbohydrates, of which sugar, and other bits and pieces. You know, don't just ignore the other bits and pieces, really not that interested. Also, at this stage, don't really pay attention to the of which saturates, because actually saturated fat is now not an issue. The FDA in America have removed the top limit. We realized that we've been thinking about fat wrong. And also, you can ignore the of which sugars in carbohydrates. We're just interested in the basic macronutrients of proteins, fats, and carbs. So the thing to look for is you've got the per 100 milliliters or per 100 grams, and then you've got per serving. All you're looking for is which macronutrient, protein, fat, or carb, is the highest. Now, very often, things that say with 16 grams of protein will lead you to believe that they're higher in protein. This is protein rich. Actually, when you look at the back of the packet, sometimes you find it's got 36 grams of carbohydrates. So protein is quite low down. So when your body is going to eat that thing, it has to process it as a carbohydrate and do a huge amount of work to even get the protein out. It's not even seeing it as a protein. Without a separate protein source, you haven't had a protein. So it really is that simple. Look at the per, doesn't matter, per serving or per 100 mil or per 100 grams, and look at which macronutrient is the highest. Is it protein? Is it fat? Is it carbohydrate? And then you assign it as that.
The other thing that one of the reading the food labels, if you don't understand any of the ingredients,
Yeah,
don't buy it. Just
don't
don't
buy
buy
it.
it. I get questions from my clients about, well, what does this mean? And what does this mean? Is this good for me? If you don't understand it, don't buy it. The more that you have a smaller label or no label at all. This is a melon, for example.
Contains melon.
Melon contains melon. The simpler you can make reading food labels, the better. And I wanted to add the chickpeas, for example, is always a great one that people say, well, I'm getting protein because I eat chickpeas. There are 3 times more carbohydrates in chickpeas than there are protein. So yes, it does contain protein. However, it sits in the carbohydrate category. I think it's that simple, isn't it?
It's that simple. It's that simple. And often we think if it's that simple, it can't be true. Usually, in my experience, if it's that simple, it's true.